It's been a little while since we've traveled back to World War II in the Call of Duty franchise, but now we have the new appropriately titled Call of Duty World War II. But is this the hero that the series desperately needed, or should this one just be forgotten to history? Before we begin, this review is mostly going to focus on the single-player campaign, and there will be some slight spoilers as far as the names of the missions, as well as some of the activities you do, but I won't be spoiling any of the story. I will also, though, be touching on some of the other modes included. The game takes place over 11 different missions, with a lot of them coinciding with historical battles throughout the European campaign. The game's story revolves around the character of Ron Daniels, a member of the 1st Infantry Division. He's from Texas, and it's his first time really away from home, and he's just trying to make his family, in particular his brother, proud. The game does a decent enough job introducing us to Ron as well as his squad mates that you'll learn a lot about and have a lot of interactions with throughout the course of the story. But soon after that, you're dropped on the beaches of Normandy for the first mission, which is D-Day. Being one of the most famous battles in history, the game does a decent enough job portraying it here. There's a sense of chaos and just overall brutality that's going on as you're trying to make it from checkpoint to checkpoint. If you're going to play the game at all on a higher difficulty, it really ramps up the intensity while you're trying to storm the beach the first time around. While of course there's a ton of gunfights going on in the campaign, it does break up the gameplay from time to time, adding a few different styles of levels. You'll have areas where you'll have to drive, areas where you'll actually have to fly, and then stuff where you'll have to be much more stealthy as far as your approach of going in and infiltrating either a building or a camp. You also have a mission where you'll play as basically a spy trying to get a deal done to get explosives inside of a very heavily guarded base. Some of the big highlights for me in the campaign include the liberation of Paris, the Battle of the Bulge, and the taking of Ludendorff Bridge. The story, for the most part, while it does of course take historical liberties with the story itself and the characters, for the most part was quite enjoyable, and I like a lot of the members of your squad and some of the other characters that you meet throughout the journey. When it comes to the gameplay, it's that fast-paced first-person shooter style of action that you've come to know and expect from Call of Duty games. It of course has that bit of old-school feel to it, and it takes a bit to get used to some of the historical guns if you've been playing more modern Call of Duty games, but still everything works pretty well, and there is a decent variety to the gun types. Throughout the levels, you'll also have a couple of collectibles to keep an eye out for, as well as these heroic moments that you can pull off, such as dragging a fellow soldier to safety after they've been shot, or having one of the other soldiers surrender and accepting their surrender. I do wish that the main campaign was a bit longer though. Depending upon what difficulty you're playing on, it'll take roughly about 5 to 7 hours in order to get through it. Outside single player, you have your standard multiplayer, which you'll be able to dump hundreds of hours in as far as leveling up your character and getting your prestige classes. You have your standard set of modes, your team deathmatch, capture the flag, and objective-based ones like war. At the base right now, it has 9 maps for you to play on, as well as a few that are specific for the war mode since it's more objective-based. And for the most part, the maps have a decent variety to them, but they're not necessarily my favorites in the series. The game also features the Nazi zombie mode. Like other zombie modes, it's basically a horde mode with you and your friends, which you can do locally, or you can jump online to join with others, and you're basically taking on wave after wave of zombies in a large town-like setting that you're also trying to complete other objectives while battling the variety of zombies. You'll earn points for killing zombies and then be able to buy more guns as well as other upgrades for your characters and just try to survive for as long as you can. In the presentation department, the graphics for the CG cutscenes that play from time to time, which I wish there actually were more of them, are absolutely gorgeous. But as far as the cutscenes in-game, they're just okay. There are some times where this game really shines, and other moments where it looks a bit dated. Some of the animations between the characters can be just a little bit old-looking. From the technical side of things, there weren't any major glitches or bugs that I ran into. Minor stuff like clipping issues as well as texture popping, and the game did crash on me on a few occasions. Call of Duty World War II is available now on the PlayStation 4 for $59.99. It's also available on the Xbox One and PC, and it does have a Platinum trophy, of course, on the PS4. Overall, Call of Duty World War II is another very competent shooter. As far as the single-player campaign goes, though, it was quite enjoyable. In fact, it ranks up there near the top of my favorite as far as the Call of Duty campaigns go, though nowhere near as good or memorable as the classic Modern Warfare ones. The single-player campaign was fun enough to almost be worth recommending the game on its own, and if you're already going to enjoy the multiplayer, I definitely can recommend checking out the game. Though if you're interested in only a single-player first-person experience, you may want to wait for it to go down a little bit in price, but it's definitely still worth your time. With everything said, I'm going to be giving Call of Duty World War II an 8 out of 10. But anyway guys, I'm going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.